This is Boomer Nation on Talk Radio 860 WGUL. Here's your host, Terry Benincasa.
We're back with our guru of communication, Steve Gavatorta, and his final time with us in his feature, Straight Talk. Happy New Year.
You're bringing a tear to my eye.
Oh, yeah, right. All right. Okay. Now, no, really, Happy New Year.
Thank you. Same to you.
No, thank you.
And to all the listeners.
Yes, Happy New Year. All right. Mastering the art of effective communication as a differentiating point
Correct.
in the 21st century. Whew, that's a mouthful.
I'll say.
All right. So communication, I think we've all understood as being extremely important. So how can it be so differentiating in 2011 or in the 21st century more so than it was in the last century?
Right. And I want to put a perspective on some things. Just think about brand managers or marketing people. What they try to do is differentiate their brands versus their competition. What's the difference between Aquafresh and Colgate and Crest? That's a brand manager's job, is to differentiate their products so the consumer wants to buy their product. And I think communication is that distinguishing factor for people. And I think the differentiating point to your question is why is it more important now than it hasn't been in the future? And it ties back to, I think, the kind of the phrase I've used ever since we have done a Straight Talk show, that we're in a very high-tech, fast-paced, low-touch world. Things are happening so fast with technology, email, text messaging, internet, that we're losing the art of communication.
Absolutely,
yes. Absolutely. And those people that can master
real
that art,
communication.
Exactly.
Not abbreviated
right.
abbreviations. I just refuse to do that. Now, that's why I don't text very much.
Absolutely.
Because it takes me an hour to text one message. But I just refuse. I have to sometimes on Twitter, but I refuse to. I try to abbreviate as little as possible. After a while, I find it very hard to read personally. Now, I might be an old coot, but I find that very hard to read, and it just has less meaning.
Absolutely, and there's a lot of message that gets lost in text messaging, the real meaning. How many times have you had a text message or an email that was misconstrued because of the way it was written, or even exclamation points and capitalizing things? That might have a different connotation. So my point is, those things are fine in certain instances, but you still have to connect, make a one-on-one interaction, connect with people, and that is going to be a differentiating point, whether you're a manager, salesman, or leadership.
And I think those who learn how to do that well in this century and in this coming year will shine, will rise above the bulk of their competition, because too many of the folks with whom they're competing aren't doing that.
Exactly.
And if you are, I think that would make a big difference.
Without a doubt. And you're going to have those people that say, hey, I closed a sale via email. What are you talking about? You may have those people that say such a thing, but they are they're the exception. They're not the norm. And again, it's a great differentiating point. And that's what we've been talking about in the Straight Talk segment, is how to differentiate yourself. What are some techniques to do? And we'll do a big wrap on that today.
All right. Well, we have about a minute, so give us those how-tos.
The first thing I think you need to do is realize you've got to make a connection with people. You want to close a communication gap with someone, and you're not going to do it virtually. You have to do it face-to-face. Mm-hmm. The second piece is to become a good listener. Sit in someone else's shoes. Understand them, where they're coming from, both personally and what they may need professionally in their job. If you're a salesperson, understand the needs of your client, and again, how they communicate and deal with change, risk, and conflict. Learn to read people. Be in the moment. If someone's chatty, spend some time and talk with them and build a rapport.
Right.
If someone
Don't
wants
be
to
in your own little world.
Bingo.
Okay.
If someone's straight to the point, bang, get straight to the point.
Okay.
And learn to adapt to their style. I'm not saying change who you are, but if they're hitting to the point, then you get to the point.
Right.
And lastly, communicate your needs as well. It's okay for you to say to someone else, here's what I need in communication as well. It's not a one-way street. It's a two-way street. Your goal is to create a dialogue, not a monologue.
Very good. All right, Steve, since people can't reach you through the show anymore, tell folks how they can reach you.
Sure. My phone number is 813-908-1343. Email address steve@gavatorta.com. GAVATORTA.com. The same name as my website. You can visit there too.
Happy New Year, and maybe we'll talk to you again in the future.
I think we will.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Attention business owners and managers. If you don't have a sales force that consistently exceeds quota or consistent growth in yearly profits, then you're quickly losing your competitive edge, and the Steve Gavatorta Group can change that. The Steve Gavatorta Group is a premier business communications consulting company with a client list that includes Bayer and New York Life. The Steve Gavatorta Group is known as the profitability catalyst. To find out what they can do for your company, call 813-908-1343 or go to gavatorta.com.